Hello, everyone. Today, for a change, not diving into Ukraine as much, but talking to old friend Pimpy. Not old as an age, but old as how long we know each other. And before we start asking questions, I want to say this. Please join my mailing list. Check me out on Instagram. You will not regret. Beautiful pictures there. And you can check my website as well. You have my Patreon down below and all the links to Pimpy if you haven't met him yet. This is Pimpy. This is actually Lee from Pimpy's investment chat, because people give me crap like, Ania, how you can speak like this? And I'm like, I call Pimpy Pimpy because it's Pimpy's investment chat. Welcome back, Pimpy.
Hi, sweetie. How are you? It's nice to see you again.
Nice to see you too. So I was thinking this is really something very current, and I am quite interested in this. And we are going to talk around Russia today a lot, because Russia set a fixed gold price that will be, I think, for one ruble, 5,000 rubles
5,000. Yeah.
will be for 1 gram of gold, which is, how much is it? $58 per gram.
Yeah, about 55, is 55, 57, somewhere around there.
So my question is this: within this situation that Russia sets a fixed gold price, first of all, shall we buy rubles? Straight to the point. Shall we buy rubles now, at least some amount? And how this will affect gold overall worldwide?
So initially, when they invaded and we put sanctions on them, the ruble lost like half its value within a couple of days. And I told everybody, look, here's just like any other opportunity. But I told them, you would have to have a lot of money in order to make a lot of money. I think for every $100,000 or so, you would only make about 1,000 off it once it went back to its regular price. And was it worth it? But once they announced that they were going back to the gold standard, and since then they've already recovered all their losses, just so you know. So it's back to where it was. And now they're talking about going back to the gold standard. So once they go to the gold standard, their currency, the ruble, is going to be really valuable because it's backed by gold. So I anticipate it really going up in value. People want me to speculate, and I was like, I really don't want to. But if I had to guess, I don't want to. How everybody wants the Iraqi dinar to be $3.22 for every $1 US. I'm saying I can see where the Russians are, 1-to-1 maybe, and maybe a little bit more valuable, where they're more than $1 US per ruble. Here's the thing that depends on it. One is the supply and demand. Are people going to get involved and start buying the rubles? I think so. That's because Putin's about to offer oil at such a discounted rate that even people who are supporting the sanctions and who have implemented sanctions against them it's going to be too tempting. They're going to want it. Now, the only way you can buy the oil is you have to buy the rubles. And if the rubles what this does, it strengthens the Russian ruble. And that's before the gold's, backed by it. So once you back it by gold, so you're feeling confident about their currency, and you get to buy oil at such a major discount. Once it's implemented, you're going to see a flood of money in gold go into Russia, is what you're going to see happen. And if countries don't switch over to gold back like Russia does, their currencies are going to be devalued big time, because Russia's is going to explode. So our currency against the Russian ruble, the exchange rate is going to start to change big time. So you're going to be able to get more US dollars per rubles. My thing is this: for speculators, if you have an opportunity, it's going to be hard for where we are over here, because we got them under sanctions, so they remove them off all of our exchanges. But for us over here, if we could get your hands on some, I don't think there's any problem with, snagging up 1 or 2 million and holding on and see what happens. I mean, seriously, if you can afford it.
So, Pimpy, here, I just checked before I connected with you, 1 ruble at this point is 0.013 US dollars. Okay. So what I wonder, because I don't know.
So it's a little over
exactly. Right. But I want to tell you this because I was contacted by some of my followers lately, I think, and they mentioned to me that they have relatives or friends who live in Russia, and they were saying that ruble is already backed by gold, like there is already gold standard. So can this be already the case? Because I mean, I think this is exactly what's going to be, right? It's going to be ruble is backed by gold. And
it is, but I think the real value, see, what people should pay attention to is Putin said that he's going to do this, where you get 55 or was it 5,000 rubles for every gram, or 5,500. That's until June. I think he said 6th or 30th. So everybody's like, well, what's going to happen after that? Well, I think then you're going to see the real price come out, the real value. He's going to make an announcement that this is official. This is what they're going to do, period. So he's saying that what he's talking about, this ruble being backed by gold, is up to a certain time period in June. And everybody's trying to figure out what it is in June that's going to happen. Why June? Is it going to stop? I don't think so. No, he wants to crush what's going on. Now, the crazy thing is I heard somebody say there's a bankers war going on, and I was intrigued by what they were saying. And if I said, man, if I didn't know any better, it makes it sound like Jerome Powell has been teaming up with Putin to outpush this gold standard. And the reason for that is it suppresses temporarily the price of gold, which we want here in the United States. We don't.
I don't believe this. I don't believe this at all.
No, I'm just saying this is what the thought process is. It holds it down for a little bit, only a little bit. We have our government over here trying to tell us that this administration that our economy is good, but they have to, gold and silver being smashed every day by paper market, every day to get smashed. That's why the prices haven't taken off. But look at copper, look at nickel. Nickel went up so much that they closed the markets down, not once, not twice. But this shows you how much involvement the government has in our markets. They should not be. This is not a capitalist country anymore. It's a manipulated capitalism. A free-flowing capitalist market, the government wouldn't be jumping in there and interfering with the price of copper, interfering with the price of nickel. They closed the markets down not once, twice. Now we just found out they put a cap on the price for silver at $30. You know, it's like, wait, what are you doing? Who gives you that right to do that? Why are you doing that? You know what I mean? So the fact that the government is interfering with the free-flowing markets tells you this isn't a capitalist country. So the reason why I bring that up is by capping off commodities, it makes it look like the economy is doing good because you're going, no, look, if things were crazy, you would see commodities take off. No, look, you're stopping the commodities from taking off. That, or what they're doing is holding down the price while they accumulate as much as possible. So we are in the gold. I mean, Russia is in the gold standard. The yuan's supposed to be backed by gold. That's the announcement. Now you're looking at Saudi Arabia saying that they would sell their oil in the country's rubles and to the yuan, for the yuan. This is not good. And I said, if Iraq was smart, they would do the same dang thing as Russia. They would turn around and say, you have to buy our oil now in Iraqi dinars, and then turn around and back the dinars with gold. Man, that would pump up the value.
Okay, great. So now let's talk about this, because to answer my question, this is exactly my question. So if anyone can buy some amount of rubles, why not, right? Now, why not?
Yeah. You know what? Just grab some and put, you know, if you get whatever you can afford. I mean, if I could grab like 1 or 2 million, I would, and just put it to the side and just wait and see what happens. You know, it's like I said, what is it? It's just a little over a penny, you know, so
yes,
it's a little expensive, but
0.013 US dollars for 1 ruble. So Pimpy, now let me ask you this, your thoughts on this. Looks to me like, that's how I see it. We have Russia, we have India, we have China, we actually might have even Hungary, we have Turkey, and
Iran.
we might Iran, right? And we have what else? We have Pakistan. That's why all the shenanigans there now, right now. Haha, how convenient the timing. So
yeah,
we have
oops, a missile got fired over there. Yeah.
Yeah, like oops, right? Yeah. We have those countries, and there are a few more that I truly see this, that there is like this new world order that they were pushed on the Western countries for real. And then we have that is like, we are not putting up with this banking system anymore. And we can totally collaborate between each other, separating ourselves from all of that. So now my question is, how this, in your opinion, if that will happen, it very much likely looks like, how this will affect, like how this will affect the trading, or even, you know, like existing in those two different systems?
So everybody knows about the World Economic Forum. People are waking up. People are wise to right now. We have the Great Reset. There are people who are resisting this. There's governments, you can see them. This is why we went after Putin, in my opinion. Putin went into Ukraine. I'm sure everybody has their opinion why. We know the UN was surrounding Russia with missiles. This is what was happening. Not to mention the labs that were over there that were making the same types of viruses that we were infected with here. And Putin has the proof of that. And so, plus a lot of other criminality that are behind this whole Great Reset. You know, these people, these politicians, are creating a havoc around us to drastically reduce the Earth's population. We know this. If you haven't figured it out by now, whether you don't believe it, then you're getting way behind on what's really going on. So as far as trade is concerned, right now, I think world countries are starting to wake up and go, wait, United States has been too much of a bully, and a lot of us are tired of it. They really are. We've seen what happened when Lebanon and Iraq, wanted to go away from the petrodollar. Gaddafi was removed. Saddam Hussein, rightfully so. But Gaddafi, I mean, my friend, when Gaddafi was killed, I thought this was good for her. No, she cried so bad. She says, no, stop listening to your media. She goes, they lied to you. This guy gave us free healthcare, free education for college. And if we couldn't cover whatever sickness you had, if you couldn't get treatment here, the government flew you to other countries to get treated. And I was like, I didn't know that. She goes, no, because you have your media, they just lie to you. And it really was an eye-opener to me. And I felt like crap because she was really devastated by this. And that's not what I expected. I thought for her to be going, oh, thank God, America's came to save us. No. And so people are tired of it. You know, they use the SWIFT system to punish people, cutting them off from the banking system. And this is why China and Russia and them were developing an alternative system called CIPS, you know, CHIPS, CIPS. They wanted their own system. And it's being developed, or actually, this might surprise people, that would be the QFS system, believe it or not. That's the one in the AIIS building in China. And I told everybody about this and they got all pissed off at me. And I'm like, you guys tell me to look into it. I look into it and I track it down where it is and who's running it. And people are like, no. Okay, well then fine. You don't want to know the truth, that's okay. So they have CIPS system. And so it's just like the SWIFT system. I don't think it's fully implemented. But people are already looking for alternative ways to get out of the SWIFT system. Even using cryptocurrencies. Look at El Salvador, their official, Bitcoin is their official currency over there. It takes them out of sanctions. How do you sanction a cryptocurrency? You can't. So, you know, it affects their economy. They're allowed to do what they need to do because they do all their trades through cryptocurrencies. Now, all of a sudden, over here in the United States, we're finding problems with cryptocurrencies, and we think we should do away with cryptocurrencies. You see what our government does? They want control of everything, not just this country here, but everywhere. They want to be the big bullies, and people are tired of it. So as far as the trade is concerned, you have countries that are reluctant to do sanctions hardcore against Russia because Russia is intertwined with different countries in different ways that would affect them in a very negative way. European is supporting sanctions, but are they really going to sanction Russia fully? No, because their energy comes from Russia. You know what I mean? A lot of their food comes from Russia. So Russia's like, fine, you want to sanction me? Then I cut you off. Now what? You know what I mean? Now what?
So you don't, Pimpy, so you don't think this will really happen to this extent that that this is completely divided into two different, financial, economical structures? You don't think it will happen? It will be still.
I have two thoughts on what I think might be really going on. If you go to the whole Great Reset, then you would believe this is planned, and they're just going to use Russia as an excuse for food shortages because of no trades and everything. Energy shortages. Now we have to ration. And I think some countries are now rationing energy. So, and everybody just points to Putin. Over here in the United States, they're saying that the inflation is because of Putin, food shortages are because of Putin, gas prices are because of Putin. But people are going, no, it's not. Mm-hmm. They were already that way before Putin. So people are wiser over here. They're waking up. But that doesn't stop the people who are in control from making life hard for us. The virus, in my opinion, was meant to kill a certain portion of the people, and so were the vaccines. So be careful about putting this on there. But now the food shortages, I told everybody like 10 months ago, get ready, because BlackRock is buying up farmland and they're not growing crops on there. Why? They're paying the people in the cattle industry and in the chicken industry to kill the crops. I mean, kill the herds instead of taking them to market. Why would you do that? You know what I mean? Unless your goal was to starve people. So whether my one thought is this thing is planned, and they're just going to use Putin as an excuse for food shortages. You won't be able to trade in energy shortages, and they'll just push everybody in the Great Reset. My other thought is this: then maybe Putin isn't the bad guy after all, and he's putting up a fight against the Great Reset, and that's what, because a lot of people here now believe that. The people are
finally,
like,
Pimpy, yes, so exactly. They're going, oh my goodness.
Yeah. They're going, and
maybe this is like enough. The world had enough of this. I'm sorry. I'm like, enough of it. Enough.
Well, I mean, people here, this one guy blasted me saying, the way I was talking about our country, I'm saying, look, they're bullies. People are tired of them. We're doing, and the guy's like, man, you're just not a patriot. You hate your country.
No, it's not about the people, the citizens. It's not about the citizens. It's about those who run it. The best. Yes.
It's not the country I'm talking about. It's these idiots that are running it. They're purposely killing the dollar, by the way, and we know they are. People are like, why would they give up the power and the control of the dollar, the reserve status? Well, for the better good of the whole Great Reset. You know what I mean? Their goal is to push us into that one world currency, whatever you want to call it. But the name of it is called the central bank digital currency. And they're already talking about it over here being introduced by the end of this year. Not introduced, forced. Forced. So when people go, oh, all these countries are studying the central bank digital currency, I go, no, they're not. They're talking to the public to get insight. No, they're not. Were they going to test it? No, they're not. Why? It's already been done. There's everything, when they tell you it's disruptive technology, and I've been saying this in my videos for a long time. Every time we have some type of disruptive technology like cryptocurrencies, it has already been invented, played with, messed around with, manipulated. The governments already know what they're going to do with it before it's released. And now when they talk about the central bank digital currency, no, they already know about it. It's already been created. They're just trying to figure out a way to implement it.
I still feel it's not gonna.
Wait, I want to wrap up today. So if you can get rubles, buy them. If you can get gold, buy it, because they're going to go up. As much as the United States is going to try to stop them, it's not going to happen. If Russia, and I shouldn't say if, when Russia is successful in doing what they're doing and other countries start following, you're going to see the shift. Yeah, you're going to see the veil lift off. First of all, they're going to be the comics in the LBM, or the London, bullion market, the LBMA, that's what it is. They're going to be exposed for all the manipulation that they did, because they're not going to be able to cover all their contracts. And it's already happening now. They're trying really hard to do that. But that whole suppression mechanism is going to be lifted. You can't hold it down no more. And you're going to see gold and silver shoot up in a major way. So buy rubles, buy gold, absolutely. Is trade being affected? I don't think it's as affected as people think. What I think it is for us in the United States, our supply lines haven't been affected because of Putin. They won't allow the ships to come in off the coast to unload, to give us our supplies. Because in the beginning, they were using coronavirus as an excuse. But now what's your excuse? You know, they lifted corona restrictions because we got midterms coming up and the Democrats are about to get their ass kicked. And we're already seeing signs of it. There's already special elections happening right now in deep blue areas in which the Democrats are losing. So that's a first sign. But bring the containers in. What are you saying? Oh, we're short workers, we're short employees? Yeah, because they don't want to get vaccinated. You know what I mean? They refuse to. So people left their jobs. So you want to, you know, if you're so worried about the economy, you tell people, look, here it is. You're full grown adults. You know what's going on with the virus. You know what's out there. We're going to go ahead and let you do what you want to do. You make the choice for you and your family. If you want the vaccine, then you get the vaccine. If you want to wear the mask, wear the mask. But we're not going to force anybody else. Just open up the economy and it would thrive really quick.
So
and open up the ports.
Okay, there's just this word with V is very sensitive. But what I want to say is, let me ask you this. So with Russia, having the gold standard, this is like, it's very specific what I want to ask you now. When Russia is having this ruble backed by gold, which I think already happened, but let's say officially is done, what it means the ruble itself gets stronger, and it also means that the gold price is not going to be what we see right now, correct?
No.
So how would you say, I know this is speculation and this is like assumption, but what we can really expect to see as far as gold, because that value of gold, we're talking worldwide, is going to change, right? And it will be the same value.
But we're in, and it's been now, we've been in a gold and silver squeeze now for a while. There is a deficit. There's not enough of it mined. So the physical demand, oh my God, the markets are gonna, at the very minimum, we should be at 3,000 for gold by the end of this year. It's being super conservative. Realistically, the prices that we hear people talk about, and this is without the government magically finding a way to suppress the price, but you're gonna see gold probably up around 10,000, again, super conservative within this next couple of years. And silver, you can see they're already trying to put a cap on silver at $30 because you can't force people into this green energy deal without silver. And if silver prices are really skyrocketing like they should, if they're really skyrocketing, then they're not going to be able to force us in this Green New Deal. Technology uses silver, solar panels use silver, our guided missile systems use silver. So they're not, you know, they're putting a cap on there. Silver should be up, and I have a feeling it's going to get up there. You know,
but this makes me also
$700 an ounce.
How much?
$500, $600, $700 an ounce. If you think about a historic ratio of gold to silver, it's usually 15-1. If we reset the value, that's when the government would interfere and say, fine, we reset at this. They'll bring the ratio back into play and they'll reset it at 15-1 because that's what it is historically. Okay, so 15-1. But if they just let the markets flow, we already see what's happening to nickel. We already see what's happening to copper. We already see what's happening to palladium. You know what I mean? You can see the precious metals. They're doing everything in their damn power to keep them from taking off. They closed the markets down twice for nickel. Why? If people really knew what was going on, if you woke up, even if they're not invested in nickel, the fact that the government is interfering in the free-flowing capitalistic market should piss everybody off. Okay? Capitalism has a way of weaning out poorly ran, poorly managed businesses and strengthening those who know how to plan correctly. That's the whole purpose of it. So you end up with companies who are very innovative, very successful, and the markets, our economy would be phenomenal, but it's being screwed with all the time. We know now Wall Street, there's no humans there now. We know it's computer algorithm. So you have a computer manipulating the markets, it's what it's doing. And so, yeah, it's just it's
crazy, yeah. Absolutely crazy.
I think you're gonna, at the very minimum, you're gonna see gold at 3,000 by the end of this year. And I think that's being super, super conservative. But the bigger tell, we'll revisit after June. We'll know then because Putin will have implemented what it is that he wants to do. And whatever it is, my hope is whatever this is, it's going to smash the Great Reset right now. But with,
I agree.
But Tom on Chris Marcus's channel, Arcadio Economics, he did an interview with Tom Luongo, and Tom said, "Man, you got Jerome Powell on one sleeve, you have Putin on the other, Christina Lagarde in the EU, and they're just dismantling her right now. They're going to take all the dollars out of the EU, their own dollars, and crush the economy of the EU and end this whole Great Reset, because that's like its base over there. You know what I mean?" And I thought, wow, that's interesting. And how are they going to do that? The gold standard is what they're going to do, and they're going to take their dollars out of Europe. Europe's going to get crushed, by the way. They really are. You people over there in Europe, you have to find a way to get into gold and silver. That's going to be your saving grace. Trust me, it will.
Yes. I mean, pretty much anywhere in the world, but here in Europe, yes, but in US as well. So Pimpy, I had just came to me this question. So I envisioned this. Let me ask you this. Because that situation there with Russia taking care of things, let's put it this way.
Yeah. Well, to the point now, did you know this?
Wait. Yeah, let me say the question. To the point when people are liberated, it's just the situation when they decide this is good, this is over, and finish. Okay, sure. It will come to the end. It's gonna come to the end, and it will be the good outcome from it. I'm absolutely certain. However, there is enormous suffering, and I don't even want to talk about it now because I took in other videos and it was a lot. So let's imagine we are at this point, at this moment. This already happened, okay? So still, ruble is stronger, backed by gold. Now, what do you see is happening after that moment? Because the inflation is not going away, even though the Russia and Ukraine situation is at peace. The inflation still exists and is gonna exist.
So what happens when we go to the gold standard? And this is why, especially the United States, they're against the gold standard. You can only produce as much money as you have gold to support it. So it restricts the amount of spending our governments can do. And if you restrict the spending habits of our government, well, then that's a relief for the citizens because we don't pay so much in taxes, and you reduce the dollar supply that's out there. So as far as inflation, it'll come, inflation will, it's not going to be high inflation. What I'm trying to say is it has a way of balancing. Everything would be balanced is a good way to put it. I'm trying to figure out a simplistic way to say it. But it balances everything. But
sorry to interrupt you, but this is only in case, I'm just adding to this. So this is only in case when there is a gold standard. But if there is no gold standard yet, and they are raising the rates, the Fed is raising the rates, there is inflation, how this looks like?
Well, the raising of the interest rates goal is to lower inflation is what it's supposed to do. Okay. And technically, if you do it right, but it also affects the gold and silver prices. It brings them down because it gives the impression that the bonds are the safest and the economy is going to be balanced. But we would have to fully trust our governments being honest about what's going on. The real inflation rate here in the United States right now is 14%. That's what the real number is. And that's using the formula that's been used for decades. But the government keeps manipulating how they report their numbers to lie to you. So going to the gold standard brings balance to everything. This is why the governments don't like the gold standard. It restricts them from going willy-nilly and making themselves rich and making their friends rich. Now, don't get me wrong, they'll find still little tricky ways, but it limits their power. You can't just print money out of control like we've been doing. You can't do that. You would totally kill your currency. And that's why they hate it. So going to the gold standard, if the world goes back to the gold standard, it's the best thing for it. It exposes a lot of these little schemes that's going on in our markets. And I'm looking forward to that. I really want people to be pissed off. And I mean pissed off at the level where you're scaring politicians to death about what you might do. They're uncertain about it because they need to be that way. Because right now, they don't give a crap about you. They'll spit in your face and don't give a crap. They don't care. They're way out of control. But the gold standard, I think, brings a lot of balance to the world's out of control economies. Right now, you can see, because we allowed them to do what they've done, they've put us in this position where we're looking at a worldwide market crash, and it is going to affect everybody in a very harsh way. What I hope that triggers in is the debt jubilee, is what I'm hoping, because people are going to be so pissed that the government's going to go, oh, well, I don't want to get hung or get my head decapitated. Hey, debt jubilee for everybody. You know, that's what I'm hoping happens. But it will bring balance. The inflation will go down. Interest rates will be more rational. But the whole goal, I mean, the whole reason for raising interest rates is to keep inflation under control. But unfortunately, they're going to have to do it, the rate hike so much that it's going to seem, man, it's going to be very bad. You know what I mean? The interest rates are going to have to jump up high.
So Pimpy, now how that will affect those currencies like from Iraq or Vietnam or those countries, how those very, very undervalued currencies will change?
Well, inflation hurts your currency.
Right.
That's why it's important for you to get it under control. A perfect example of that is Zimbabwe. Look at their inflation. Venezuela, you know, look at their inflation. You know, they got these $1 trillion bills. You know, that's how bad inflation is there. So you have to get it under control. And usually raising interest rates is how you do it. That's one way. But you really have to open up the economy and create jobs. That's another one. People have to be paying taxes. That's another thing. But if you have your economy closed because you have restrictions and people don't want to get vaccines, and the trade supply is reduced because you have the ships off the coast, and you know, these are the mechanisms that help keep inflation under control. They're actually doing the opposite, and then they're just lying to you saying that it's under control. So how does it affect the currencies? Well, if inflation gets out of control, which it will, because
no, I mean something else. No, I mean when there is a gold standard, okay, which will be the case, how the value of Iraqi dinar or Vietnamese dong will change, improve pretty much. That's what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, it puts everybody on more of a level playing field. Again, it keeps corrupt government, it exposes corrupt governments, because if you're on the gold standard and, you know, let me put it to you this way, if I say I have 1 gram of gold backs every dollar that I have, right? And you're sitting over there in your country and you have your dollar with nothing supporting it, people are going to go, wait a minute, your dollar isn't worth anything. This one has gold with it. So they'll buy this one and leave yours alone. So your people are going to be pissed at you. So what do you have to do? Well, then you have to turn around and match it. You have to match your 1 gram of gold for every dollar. So what do we have? 1 gram of gold for this dollar, 1 gram of gold for that dollar. It's an even playing field. Do you see how that works out?
So that means that every currency will be equal. So this will be, so you're saying that $1 will be equal to 1 ruble, and it will be equal to 1 Iraqi dinar, will be 1 to 1?
It'll be a more even playing field based on the realistic currency value of the ability of that country to produce. Okay. So in other words, if I'm just a country who's importing, not producing anything, well, then my currency has a different type of value to it. But it does bring everything more level to each other. There's still going to be some slight differences based on the country's ability to produce or the resources that they have, obviously, but it's not going to be so out of whack. It's going to be a lot more balanced. So if you're talking about the Iraqi dinar versus the US dollar, yeah, it's going to be a lot more, to me, a lot more of an even playing field there as far as exchange rates are concerned. Again, you're going to have those differences. I mean, Iraq has a ton of oil. You know, there's small differences. So you're never going to have them 1 for 1 all around the world. That's just not going to be possible, only because of some countries import more than others, other ones export more than others, some got resources, you know what I mean? Some are got a younger generation that's more productive in work. There's all these little things that make a difference when you're thinking about the value of a currency. But a lot more even than it is now. Okay, that's for sure. I was going to say, you can tell this great reset is falling apart. That Obama is now in the White House again. And people are complaining.
This is nothing to do with the healthcare people. This is nothing to do with the
he's like, oh, I'm there as an advisor. What do you mean?
No. It's like,
Yeah, well, I said this was his third term. He's running things, but now he's
absolutely. This is
front.
strategy. Absolutely strategy.
Yeah,
I agree.
oh, no,
but
Biden was supposed to be the puppet, and Kamala
well, I
Harris
don't think
he's on.
he won't be there much longer. The Sleepy Joe.
Oh,
So
well,
Pimpy, let
But-
me ask you this. Let me ask you this now about crypto. The last question is about. I will ask you straightforward question. Okay.
Yeah.
Because especially yesterday, I really put some time to research more. I don't want to give the details yet because I have to write it down, and then I will talk to you next time with the exact dates, names of people, what took place, and so forth. But let me ask you straightforward. Do you think that all the crypto is controlled and manipulated, and do you think they're going to crash it? I'm not saying this is my opinion. This is just a question I'm asking. What do you think? That they're going to crash the crypto?
A crash, well, I have two thoughts on this. I think crypto was used as a way to indoctrinate people into digital currency, okay? But I do have a friend that talks to me all the time, and he's saying, look, let me show you where you're wrong in that thought process. The part that I refuse to let go is I tell people the government can't affect cryptocurrencies, and the fact that they can makes it no good. It's all cryptos is a digital fiat dollar. There's nothing supporting it besides the fact that people believe that crypto is worth that value. What is it? What do you get out? There's nothing tangible there. Now, a decentralized platform that can't be manipulated is valuable to everybody if you can actually have one. But the government's learned they can't actually get into the crypto and affect it unless they actually buy a ton of it and then do what they're doing now. Now we got derivatives now. You don't want that, because you could use the paper market to manipulate the prices of cryptocurrencies like they do gold and silver. But what we're finding out is this: what do we see happen? And this exposed crypto as weak. They had the exchanges shut down, or they told the exchanges to block transactions between these particular people. Well, if this is a decentralized platform, you're not supposed to have the ability to do that. And the fact that they do shows you that it's not truly decentralized, and that it can be manipulated, and that it can be controlled. And you don't want that. A true free-flowing decentralized platform is what you want. So I don't think, in the past, I would say they're going to crash all cryptos. I don't think so. You're going to see a handful of them survive. We know XRP is now part of the New World Order. That's their crypto for the central bank digital currency. That's out in the open now. And I told everybody, people hate it because they love XRP so much. Oh,
and I watched this video of yours. It was just like 2 days ago or yesterday, actually.
I've been hitting XRP hard now for months.
But this is actually, it was a very interesting video, Pimpy, that you did about XRP, I have to tell you, the last one. Yeah. And I'm going to put this down below because I know a lot of people are very passionate about this XRP, and I'm not here to argue good or bad. I'm just here to talk about it and hear your opinion. And
I'll lay it out for them real quick. Let me just lay it out. So what we're finding out is that a handful of cryptos, XRP, Solana, Cardano, Crypto.com, Algorand, I can't remember them all off the top of my head, Polkadot, are all contributing to the development of the central bank digital currency. And if you know anything about the central bank digital currency, then you would know that's not a good thing at all. They're trying to force us into the central bank digital currency, which is a programmable currency that has an expiration date on it. So you can't save your money, it expires. And they can program what you can and can't buy with it. So you don't want that. That's the government controlling your money. So this is the difference between wanting to be free people versus wanting to be controlled and enslaved people. Because if they force us into the central bank digital currency, you're now captive of our government because they control your money. And the people that are responsible for them are those cryptocurrencies I'm telling you about. They are helping with the development of the central bank digital currency. So when you buy those cryptos, you're investing into platforms and companies that are using your money to find a way to manipulate and control every single human being on this planet. And that's not hyperbolic. That is the truth. And XRP is a major player in this. You got Brad Garlinghouse out there telling you they want to join the New World Order. They're looking forward to the New World Order. And so when they say that kind of stuff, you have to take a step back and go, whoa, buddy, what do you say? And when I exposed it, people got mad. They're like, no, Pimpy, that's not it. Oh man, they're going to be on the quantum financial system. Oh, and I'm starting to second guess it.
So Pimpy, this is like a testing ground, pretty much, with those currencies for the CBDC, right? Yeah. Right. And then because I'm very objective hearing all of this, I didn't invest in any of those. But what I'm thinking, like using common sense, I think, well, if this is the case, which can be very much, is very, very much likely that's the case. I'm not saying it is. So if they have done it, if they have created those tokens and they are testing them, it's like a testing ground, and then there has to be a certain I don't want to use the word propaganda, but a certain advertisement about them, or a certain approach to them to introduce them to people so people could actually trust it, right?
Yeah.
I'm using my common sense.
Like YouTube influencers.
Yeah.
There's a ton of them out there. You see them all the time out there. Oh, XRP to the moon, you're going to get rich. Well, the thought of getting rich off of cryptocurrency, like you hear in the news all the time, all these people became rich. The thought of possibly becoming rich because you invested $1,000 in a cryptocurrency, it's alluring to everybody. It is. Absolutely. Who doesn't want to be rich? But before you invest in any kind of crypto, you should probably look into them a little more and figure out what they're doing with your money. If XRP, it's not if no more, we know now they are, that XRP is going to be responsible for the central bank digital currency, why the hell would you have your money in that? That's like me investing money into a product that I know kills people and then complaining that the people are getting killed. You know what I mean? If there's a product out there that kills 1 in every 3 people, you could buy it for a penny a stock right now because you know it's going to go up to $100 per stock. Why the hell would you buy it, regardless of how rich you're going to get in it? That just makes you sick and twisted. But this central bank digital currency, its goal is to enslave every man, woman, and child on the planet. That's not hyperbolic. It has an expiration date on the damn currency, which means if you don't use it, it expires. So how can you ever start a business? How can you ever accumulate wealth? How can you ever have a retirement savings? The thing expires. That's what you're pushing people into when you invest into XRP. They're one of them. Solano, again, all the other ones. I named them off in my videos. And I showed you what their contribution is to this central bank digital currency. I did a video one time laying it all out. I showed everybody each crypto and what their job is and what they're doing to help push this great reset, the new world order.
Do you think it's hard for people to even look at this and consider that this is the case?
Not objectively, because they're so convinced.
Programmed.
Well, it's you know, what do you call that when somebody that's
influenced?
They suffer from the cognitive dissonance. That even when you tell them the truth, they're so sold on their crypto and they're expecting to get rich that they don't want to let it go because the money is more important than the consequences. When you're at that level, then there's something wrong with you. You need to let it go. When you are more focused on the money than the consequences, that's really bad. That's really bad. I talked to a guy who's a great inventor, and one of the things he told me one time in a conversation, he was saying, I said, yeah, is there any kind of advice you give to young inventors or anybody that comes up with an idea? He goes, yeah, there's 3 questions you have to ask yourself. 1, whatever I am creating, does it benefit everybody? Everybody, okay? 2, whatever I'm creating, does everybody have access to it? You know, it's not just for the rich. Does everybody have access to it? I said, okay. And 3, this is the most important one. The 3rd one, can the government take control of my invention and use it against the people? If you say yes to all 3 of those, don't invent it. And I thought, well, that's interesting. You know, the first 2 is what throws you off the questions. You're like, well, that would be a good thing. But it's the 3rd one that he's trying to throw you off with. And that is, if your government can take control of it and use it against people, don't invent it. So.
Well, you know what? This is brilliant, because this actually makes me think about those technologies that have been hidden from us for so long. And this is exactly, but you know, well, been hidden, or there are technologies that actually are not given to humanity yet. I'm talking about different civilizations right now, okay? Like I talk with Eliana Danan on my channel, that those very, very evolved civilizations and the technologies they have, they're not gonna give certain technologies to humanity yet, because exactly like you said, this can be used by the dark side against.
To weaponize it.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, I thought listening to that, I was listening to an interview with Kathleen Fitz, and she said, well, most people don't realize you're in the middle of a 10,000-year-old battle, a 10,000-year-old war. And she just said it in passing, like it was no big deal. Because she was talking about the vacant system and what the plans are of the Great Reset. And she was saying that she wouldn't say what they wanted to do, but I knew what they wanted to do. I showed you the Yuri's videos. Their goal is to hack into the brains of humans. They didn't hide it. This is the right-hand man of Klaus Schwab, the founder of the World Economic Forum and the Great Reset, telling everybody. And what did he say? He said, our job as elites is what he said. And he's saying why dictators and tyrannical governments failed in the past is because they didn't have this technology that they have now. He says, we now have, as elites, we now have the ability to hack into all at the same time. Well, how do you hack into the brains of people? How about all those individuals who got the jab?
Right.
Something was put into you. You know what I mean?
Right. But you know, Pimpy, and we will, I want to end here. You know how I see all of this? This just literally came to me. I know that the light actually already won, because if that wouldn't be the case, we will not even have the level of awareness all around the globe as people have. So what I'm talking about, this great awakening, or the awakening of millions of people, yeah, those are millions of people who are waking up, would not take place, and we would be still in coma. I was like 2 years ago, I didn't know any of it. I mean, I knew some, but not to this extent. And we would be still like the hamsters on those wheels. So I think this is the most evidence and the proof that it's not going to happen. All of this, what they were planning, it will come to the very, very edge, and it's not going to happen because people are actually aware what's happening. The number of people, there's more and more and more and more. So, you know what I'm saying? Like,
the one guy said either the world is going to experience the Great Reset or the Great Awakening. That's what he said. And I think we're at the Great Awakening. You know, I was talking about that dream I had like a year ago, and people were like, did it mean anything? Maybe it was a vision. I go, no, I don't know if it's a vision, but it was an interesting dream. But I can tell you that absolutely whatever was going on grabbed the attention of God, because the presence of God was every day was increasing. So whatever was happening, it was enough for a lot of people to have a real spiritual awakening. And I still think the growth is there. We are wise now compared to where we were 6-7 years ago. And people are starting to really awaken, I think, to the God conscious, in my opinion. You know, whether people are religious or not, that doesn't matter. You're still part of God's plan. You know, God loves you. Just believe that. And he realized that some of you have been lullabied into a sleep that you can't help but be in, but the rest of us are awake and will be aware for you. You know,
we're gonna pull this. We're gonna win this. I know it's not easy road, but we will get to this jubilee. I'm absolutely certain. It's like you can see all the shenanigans now. Like you can see all those. It's pathetic, actually. It's really pathetic, because it's like you're playing the game with someone and you know they are losing, and they are still trying to win. I'm like, it's impossible. Doesn't matter what move you make, you're like already done. Like you're done. So like just leave the room and, you know, make yourself whatever and just goodbye.
Where we are right now is we're actually, if you think about it, we're in the Fourth Reich.
Yeah.
When World War II ended, we didn't imprison and we brought all those criminals here to the United States and Project Paperclip. And then we let them run willy-nilly, and they became important, influential people in our government, in NASA, science, you know
Hollywood.
what I mean?
Hollywood.
Yeah, Hollywood. Yeah, Hollywood. And now I made a joke about this, and I didn't want people to take it the wrong way, but I said, why is it always the people that's trying to take over the world? Why are they always Germans? You know what I mean? Because look at Klaus Schwab, man. You hear that guy talk, I go, oh, good Lord, man, that's like another Hitler when he talks. Well, he's Klaus Schwab. He is from Germany, so he is. And all his right-hand man, or not the right-hand man, but that guy's from Israel, I believe it is. But the other people, when they talk, they all are from Germany. And I'm like, why? Why is Germany constantly at the forefront of all these movements?
I don't think it's just Germany. I think this
Not this time. They got buddies this time. They got partners this time.
But it's so obvious now to people who know what's going on. It's like literally you have a light shining on it. Like you cannot unsee it. You just cannot unsee it. That's how I see it. So Pimpy, to those who never came across you, where they can find you, where you want them to follow you, and yes.
Well, I got a YouTube channel called Pimpy's Investment Chat. Feel free to come by and check it out. We talk about gold, silver, cryptocurrencies, and foreign currency investments.
And politics.
News
and
network.
Politics too, sorry.
I know, I try not because I get in trouble by YouTube. But I have Pimpy's News Network, which I've been neglecting a little bit, but I got Doc I'm supposed to talk to today because there's all these things been going on in my life and I just haven't been able to focus, but I feel ready now. And, we'll start putting videos back on there, but that one you have a subscription. It's only $3 per month. So, I encourage people to go over there because we do speak without a filter. And then we have Pimpy's Investment Chat on Facebook. So you can come join us over there. We have a great community of people in there that if you have questions about some of the things I'm talking about, if I can't respond directly, then there's a lot of knowledgeable people in there and they're able to respond. It has some really good administrative people in there. They oversee the whole group. So it's really nice. But yeah, come and join us over there at Pimpy's Investment Chat. I encourage you to do so.
Thank you so much, Pimpy. Always good to talk to you.
You too, sweetie. I appreciate it.
We're gonna catch up in what we have, April, May. Yeah, like let's see, maybe
towards the end of June. I want to see what it is what is going on that he put a June deadline. I want to know.
What's about the date, right? What's the date about?
Yeah, well, it was Putin said he's going to do the go back until June. So I'm curious to see what his plans are. Whatever it is, you have to think that whatever this is that he's going to do is going to smash the Great Reset. It has to be. This is why you see that sense of urgency from the United States going, we got to get Putin. Oh, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we got to kill the guy.
No, I know. It's madness.
Exposing everybody.
Yes. And, I'm in Poland now. So imagine next door.
Oh, is it right?
Yeah, next door. That's it.
When you get off the air, I got a question for you.
No, you know what? It's because I'm here to hold the line.
Yeah.
I feel like God told me it's interesting before I left US.
Well, you got a good soldier there.
No, Pimpy, I truly tell you, I asked this question. I said, is this the case that I supposed to be in United States in that time to hold my light there? Like my light, my energy. And there are millions of us like this. And then I made the decision to come back to Poland before any of this was happening. So I already had the ticket and everything. And when I came to Poland, I already knew that this is the time for me to hold the light here now, in this land, in this area. So there is a reason, when I complete my mission here, who knows where I go.
Well, God made a good choice. You're a good person. Hold the light there, sweetie.
Hold the light.
Be that soldier for God. I mean, that's the best we can do.
Hold the gold standard light. Standard light.
Gold standard light. There you go. The shine of silver. I tell people it's time to buy the shine. Man, people get a kick out of that now. So everyone, check out Pimpy's channel. Gold and silver. This is the way to go. Hold in your hand. And I think tomorrow I will go to the exchange place that we call in Poland Kantor, and I will get few rubles. Why not? Get me some.
You can't buy because
I can't. Yeah, see, look at that. That's what I'm saying off the air because they're gonna go, oh, you're buying contraband because you're under sanctions. It's like, my friend sent me over 10 million Iranian reals. People had a fit about it. I'm like, shut up, good Lord.
But you know what, Pimpy? There is a will, there is a way.
That's what I'm saying.
Thank you everyone for watching. Lots of love, and we're gonna win this.
Yep, absolutely. I feel positive about it.